Hello, my friend. Sit down, get comfortable, maybe make a cup of tea. This is a story for you. It does not matter how old you are. It does not matter where you are from. It does not matter if your English is perfect or if you are just starting to learn. This story is about life. It is about you. So take a deep breath. Let the world outside become quiet for a little while. And listen. Part 1. The Man Who Forgot to Live. There was a man named Leo. He was not a young man and he was not an old man. He was somewhere in the middle. He lived in a big, busy city. Every day was the same. In the morning, a loud noise woke him up. It was the sound from his phone. He would open his eyes and look at the ceiling. He did not feel like getting up. His body felt heavy. His mind felt heavy. But he got up. He walked to the bathroom. He looked at the mirror. He saw a man with tired eyes. He saw a man with a small line between his eyebrows from years of worry. He did not smile at himself. He never smiled at himself in the mirror. Then he made coffee. He drank it fast, standing in the kitchen. He did not taste it. He just drank it. Then he went outside. He walked to the train station with hundreds of other people. Everyone walked fast. Everyone looked at their phones. No one looked at each other. Leo sat on the train. He looked out the window. He saw the same buildings every day. The same gray sky. He worked in a big office. He sat at a small desk. He looked at a computer screen. He did work he did not love. He talked to people he did not know. He answered emails that did not matter. At the end of the day, he felt tired. Not the good kind of tired, like after a long walk. It was a tiredness deep inside his bones. He went home. He ate food from a box. He sat on his sofa. He looked at a small screen in his hand. He watched other people live their lives. He watched people who seemed happy, people who seemed to have energy, people who seemed to have a purpose. Then he fell asleep on the sofa. The next morning, the loud noise woke him up again, and he did it all again. Leo felt like he was in a river. The river was moving fast. It was pulling him along. He could not stop. He could not get out. He was just going with the flow. One day, Leo was on the train, going to work. He saw a young boy sitting with his mother. The boy was looking out the window. He had a big smile on his face. He pointed at something outside. Maybe a bird, maybe a cloud. Leo could not see it. The boy turned to his mother. His eyes were big and bright. He said something. He asked a question. The mother smiled and answered him. Leo looked away. He looked at his own face in the dark window of the train. He saw the tired eyes. He saw the worry line. And in that moment, Leo felt something. It was a small feeling, deep inside. It was like a quiet voice. The voice said, "I'm not really living. I am just waiting to die." It was a scary thought. It made his chest feel tight. He wanted to push the thought away. He wanted to go back to his normal thinking. But for the first time in many years, he could not. He thought, when was the last time I was excited? When was the last time I felt truly happy? When was the last time I looked out a window and saw something wonderful? He could not remember. That night, Leo did not turn on his small screen. He did not watch other people live. He sat on his sofa in the quiet and he just sat. He looked at his hands. He looked at the room around him. It was not messy, but it did not feel like a home. It felt like a place where he slept. He felt very sad. The sadness was big and heavy, but underneath the sadness there was something else. It was a small, small feeling of hope. It was the hope that maybe, just maybe, things could be different. He decided he had to try. Part 2. The first small step. The next morning, the loud noise came from his phone. Leo opened his eyes. He looked at the ceiling. He felt the heaviness. But then he remembered the feeling from the night before, the hope. He took a deep breath. He did something different. He did not get up fast. He just lay there for 1 minute. He looked at the ceiling, but he did not think about work. He did not think about his problems. He put his hand on his chest. He could feel his heart beating. Thump, 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 thump. He said to himself in a very quiet voice, I'm alive. It felt strange to say it, but it also felt true. He got up. He went to the bathroom. He looked in the mirror. He saw the tired eyes. He saw the worry line. But this time he did not look away. He looked at his own face for a few seconds. He tried to smile. It was a small, strange smile. It did not look like him, but he tried. He made his coffee. He decided to drink it slowly. He sat down at his small table. He held the warm cup in his hands. He looked at the brown color of the coffee. He smelled it. Then he took a small sip. He tasted it. It was bitter, but it was warm. It was good. This small thing, drinking coffee slowly, felt strange. It felt new. For years his life had been about rushing. Now, for just 5 minutes, he was not rushing. On the train, he did not look at his phone. He looked out the window. He saw the gray sky, but he also saw the different shapes of the buildings. He saw the cars on the road. He saw a woman with a bright red coat. It was all still there. He just had not looked at it for a long time. At work, he tried to focus. He tried to do one thing at a time. Usually, he tried to do many things at once. He would answer emails while talking on the phone while thinking about his next meeting. It made his mind feel like a messy room. Today, he tried to just answer one email. Then, he tried to just work on one report. His mind wanted to jump around. It was like a small, excited dog. It wanted to pull him in different directions. But Leo kept pulling his mind back. One thing, he told himself. Just do one thing. It was hard. It felt like exercise for a muscle he had not used in a long time. His brain felt tired by the end of the day. But it was a different kind of tired. It was not the tired of being bored. It was the tired of trying. That night, he sat on his sofa again. He did not watch his screen. He thought about his day. He did not do anything amazing. He did not change the world. He just drank his coffee slowly. He just looked out the train window. He just tried to do one thing at a time. And he felt a little better. Just a tiny bit. Like a small light had been turned on in a dark room. He decided he would try again tomorrow. Part 3. The Boy in the Park. Saturday came. Leo did not have to go to work. Usually, on Saturdays he stayed in bed late. Then he looked at his small screen for many hours. Then he felt worse. But this Saturday felt different. He woke up. He made his coffee slowly. He sat by the window and drank it. He looked outside. He saw a park near his building. He saw green trees. He saw people walking. He thought, when was the last time I went to that park? He could not remember, so he decided to go outside. He put on his shoes. He walked out of his building. The air felt fresh. It was a little cold. The sun was trying to come out from behind the clouds. He walked to the park. He walked on the path. He saw families playing. He saw people running. He saw an old man sitting on a bench feeding birds. Leo found an empty bench. He sat down. He closed his eyes for a moment. He felt the sun on his face. He heard the sounds of the park, children laughing, birds singing, a dog barking far away. He opened his eyes. He saw a boy sitting on the grass not far from his bench. The boy looked about 10 years old. He had a small notebook and a pencil. He was drawing. Leo watched him. The boy would look at a tree. Then he would look at his paper. He would make a small line. Then he would look back at the tree. He would frown a little. Then he would draw another line. The boy was not rushing. He was just drawing. He was learning to see the tree. He was learning to put what he saw onto the paper. Leo felt a strange feeling. It was admiration. He admired this small boy. The boy was trying to do something. He was not worried if it was perfect. He was just doing it. After some time, the boy looked up. He saw Leo watching him. The boy smiled. It was a big, easy smile. Leo smiled back. It felt a little more natural than the smile in the mirror. The boy stood up and walked over to Leo's bench. He held up his notebook. Look, the boy said. It's a tree. Leo looked at the drawing. It was not a perfect picture of a tree. The lines were a little shaky. The shape was a little strange. But Leo could see it was a tree. He could see the boy had tried. He could see the boy had looked carefully. It's a very good tree, Leo said. His voice felt rusty from not talking much. Thank you, the boy said. My name is Sam. What's your name? My name is Leo. Do you live near here, Leo? Sam asked. Yes, Leo said, pointing to his building. I live over there. Oh, Sam said. I've never seen you here before. I haven't been here for a long time, Leo said. Why not? Sam asked. It was a simple question from a child, but it was a very hard question for Leo to answer. Why had he not been to the park? Why had he not sat in the sun? Why had he not looked at trees? I forgot, Leo said quietly. I forgot that places like this exist. Sam nodded, like this made perfect sense. Sometimes I forget to draw, he said. I get busy with school or with my games. But then my mom says, Sam, get your notebook, go outside and draw. And when I start drawing, I remember how much I love it. Leo looked at the boy. Here was a 10-year-old teaching him a lesson about life. You are very lucky, Leo said. You have someone who reminds you. Sam smiled again. Yeah, my mom is pretty good at reminding. He looked at Leo. Who reminds you? Leo had no answer. No one reminded him. No one told him to go outside. No one told him to do things he loved. He had been alone for so long. He had forgotten that he needed a reminder. I think, Leo said slowly, I need to learn to remind myself. Sam thought about this. That's harder, he said. But you can do it. My dad says you have to be your own best friend. Your own best friend. The words stayed in Leo's mind. Sam's mother called from far away. Sam, time to go. Okay, Mom, Sam yelled back. He looked at Leo. It was nice to meet you, Leo. Maybe I'll see you here again. You can watch me draw some more if you want. I would like that very much, Leo said. Sam ran off to his mother. Leo watched him go. He sat on the bench for a long time, just thinking. A small boy had talked to him. A small boy had reminded him of something important. Life was not just inside a dark office. Life was here, in the park, under the sun. Life was in small moments. Life was in trying to draw a tree, even if the lines were not perfect. Part 4, The Notebook. That night, Leo could not sleep. He kept thinking about Sam. He kept thinking about the small notebook. The next day, Sunday, Leo went to a small shop. He bought a simple notebook. It had a dark blue cover. He bought a simple pencil. He brought them home. He sat at his table. He opened the notebook. The pages were white and empty. It was a little scary. An empty page can feel scary. It feels like you have to write something perfect. Leo remembered Sam. Sam did not try to draw a perfect tree. He just tried to draw a tree. So Leo held the pencil. He looked around his room. He saw a small plant on his windowsill. It was a simple green plant. He looked at it carefully. He looked at the shape of the leaves. He looked at how the leaves grew from the stem. Then he put the pencil on the paper. He drew a line. It was a shaky line. He drew another line. It looked like a child's drawing. It did not look like the plant. Leo felt a little silly. He was a grown man, drawing like a child. But he remembered Sam's drawing. Sam's drawing was not perfect, but it was good. It was good because Sam tried. It was good because Sam looked. Leo kept drawing. He drew more lines. He tried to make the shape of the leaf. It was hard. His hand was not used to this. His brain was not used to seeing like this. He drew for maybe 10 minutes. Then he stopped. He looked at his drawing. It did not look like the plant. Not really. But it was something. It was a picture he had made with his own hand. At the bottom of the page he wrote the date. He wrote one sentence. He wrote in simple words, "Today I tried to draw. It was hard, but I did it." He closed the notebook. He felt a small feeling of pride. It was a new feeling. He had done something. He had not watched someone else do something. He had done it himself. The notebook became his friend. Every day he did something small. He did not try to be perfect. He just tried to do something. One day he wrote about his morning coffee. He wrote, "The coffee was hot. I drank it slowly. I felt the warmth in my hands." Another day he wrote about the train ride. He wrote, "I saw a woman with a red coat. She was reading a book. She looked peaceful." Another day he drew again. He drew his own hand. It looked strange and funny, but he drew it. The notebook was his reminder. It was his way of saying, "I am here. I am alive. I am paying attention." Part 5. The Man and His Habits. Leo started to learn about habits. He learned that a habit is like a path in a forest. If you walk the same way every day, the path becomes clear and easy to walk on. If you stop walking that way, the path grows over and becomes hard to see. For many years, Leo had walked the path of doing nothing, the path of watching screens, the path of rushing. That path was very clear. It was easy to walk on. His feet always went that way without thinking. Now he wanted to make a new path, a better path. He learned that you cannot make a new path in one day. You have to walk it a little bit every day, even if it is hard, even if the old path is easier. He made small rules for himself. 1. When I wake up, I will not look at my phone for the first 10 minutes. I will just be. 2. I will drink my coffee slowly. I will not stand up. I will sit. 3. On the train, I will look out the window, not at my screen. I will try to see one new thing. 4. At night, I will write one sentence in my notebook, just one. These were small things, very small. They did not feel like much, but Leo kept doing them, day after day. Some days he forgot. Some days the old path was too easy. He would wake up and grab his phone. He would drink his coffee fast while walking around. He would look at his screen on the train. On those days he felt bad. He felt like a failure. But then he learned another lesson. He learned that one bad day does not ruin everything. If you fall down, you do not stay on the ground. You get up, you brush yourself off, and you walk the new path again the next day. He wrote in his notebook, "I forgot my rules today. I felt bad. But tomorrow is a new day. I will try again." And he did. After a few weeks, the new path started to feel a little easier. It was still hard, but it was not as hard as before. He did not have to think so much about drinking his coffee slowly. It started to feel more normal. He learned a big truth. Small steps, taken every day, lead to big changes. You just have to be patient. You just have to keep walking. Part 6. The Lesson of the Garden. One Saturday, Leo went back to the park. He hoped to see Sam. He sat on the same bench. He waited. After some time, he saw Sam. Sam was with an older man. The man was helping Sam plant small flowers in a small garden near the path. Leo walked over. "Hello, Sam," Leo said. Sam looked up. His face broke into a big smile. "Leo, you came back. I was hoping you would." "I told you I would try," Leo said. Sam introduced Leo to the older man. The man's name was Mr. Gable. He was the park gardener. He was old, with kind eyes and hands that were dirty from the soil. "Sam helps me on Saturdays," Mr. Gable said. "He is a good helper." Leo watched them work. They dug small holes in the earth. They put the small plants in the holes. They covered the roots with soil. Then they poured water gently. Leo asked, "How long until the flowers grow?" Mr. Gable smiled. "It takes time. You cannot rush a garden. You give the plant what it needs. Good soil, water, sunlight. Then you wait. You trust that the plant will grow. You do not dig it up every day to see if the roots are getting bigger." Leo listened. He understood. This was another lesson. He was like a plant. For a long time, he had been in bad soil. He had not had enough sunlight. He had not had enough water. Now he was trying to change that. He was giving himself good soil. He was giving himself sunlight. He was giving himself water. But he could not rush. He could not expect to be a big, strong flower tomorrow. He had to wait. He had to trust the process. He had to keep giving himself what he needed every day. He looked at the small plants. They looked small and weak, but Mr. Gable looked at them with hope. He saw what they would become. Leo decided to look at himself with the same hope. He would see the man he was becoming, not just the man he was now. Part 7. The Gift of Words. Leo started going to the park every Saturday. He would help Sam and Mr. Gable in the small garden. He liked the feeling of the soil on his hands. He liked the quiet work. One day Sam was not there. Leo felt sad. He worked with Mr. Gable alone. He asked where Sam was. His family went to visit his grandmother. Mr. Gable said, "He will be back next week." Leo nodded. He kept working. After some time, Mr. Gable sat down on the bench. He asked Leo to sit with him. "You seem like a good man, Leo," Mr. Gable said. Leo did not feel like a good man. He felt like a man who was just learning how to live. "Thank you," Leo said. Mr. Gable looked at him with his kind eyes. "You are learning," he said. "I can see it. Learning is good, but sometimes learning alone is hard. Do you have people to talk to?" Leo shook his head. "No, not really. It's just me." Mr. Gable was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "Talking is important, sharing your thoughts. When you keep everything inside, it becomes heavy. It becomes like a big rock you carry in your heart." Leo knew this was true. His heart felt heavy for so many years. "I have an idea," Mr. Gable said. "You have your notebook, yes?" "Yes," Leo said. "That is good for writing your own thoughts. But maybe you could try reading the thoughts of other people. It is like having a conversation with someone wise without them being there. It can help you feel less alone. It can give you new words for the feelings inside you." Leo had not read a book in many, many years. He had looked at screens. He had read short messages. But a whole book, it felt too big. "I don't know if I can," Leo said. "It's been a long time." "Start small," Mr. Gable said. "Read one page, just one, every night before you sleep. The words will go into your mind. They will give you new thoughts. They will help you grow, just like water helped the flowers grow." That week, Leo went to a small library near his home. It was quiet and peaceful. He walked between the shelves. He did not know what to look for. He saw a book with a simple title. It was a story about a man who went on a long journey. It looked easy to read. He took the book home. That night he sat at his table. He opened the book to page 1. He read the first sentence, then the second. He read one page, then another. He read for 20 minutes. It felt good. It felt like his mind was drinking clean water after being thirsty for a long time. He started reading a little every night. The words were sometimes hard, but he kept going. He learned new words. He learned new ways to think. He felt his mind growing stronger. Part 8. The Fear of Speaking. One Saturday, Sam came back to the park. He was happy to see Leo. They worked in the garden together. While they worked, Sam talked. He talked about his grandmother. He talked about the food he ate. He talked about a game he played with his cousin. Leo listened. He liked listening to Sam. Sam's words were simple and full of life. After some time, Sam stopped talking. He looked at Leo. "You are very quiet, Leo," Sam said. "You listen good, but you don't talk much." Leo felt a little embarrassed. "I'm sorry," he said. "I'm not used to talking." "Why not?" Sam asked. Again, the simple, hard question. Leo thought about it. "I'm afraid," he said. "I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing. I'm afraid my words will sound stupid." Sam looked at him like he was crazy. "That's silly," he said. "Words are just words. If you say something wrong, someone can say, 'I don't understand,' and you can say it again, different. That's how you learn." Leo smiled. Sam made it sound so easy. For a child, maybe it was. My English teacher says that, Sam continued. She says mistakes are proof that you are trying. She says the only bad mistake is the one you don't learn from. Leo thought about this. He made many mistakes in his life. But did he learn from them? Or did he just feel bad and hide? He thought about his English. It was his first language, but even with his own language he was afraid to speak. He was afraid to share his real thoughts. He decided he wanted to try. He wanted to be like Sam. He wanted to speak, even if it was not perfect. He took a deep breath. Sam, he said, I want to tell you something. Sam looked at him, waiting. When I first met you, Leo said slowly, I was very sad. I felt like my life had no meaning, but watching you draw it helped me. It reminded me of something, so thank you. The words were simple, they were not fancy, but they were real. They came from his heart. Sam smiled his big smile. You're welcome, Leo. I'm glad you're not so sad now. For the first time in a long time, Leo felt a warmth in his chest. It was the warmth of connection. He had spoken. He had shared, and the world did not end. In fact, it felt better. Part 9. The night everything went wrong. Life is not a straight line. It goes up and down. Leo learned this in a hard way. One Tuesday, at work, everything went wrong. He made a mistake on a report. A big mistake. His boss called him into the office. His boss was not a kind man. He spoke loudly. He said Leo was not careful. He said Leo was not good enough. Leo stood there and listened. He felt small. He felt like the old Leo again, the tired man with no hope. After work, he went home. On the train, he did not look out the window. He just stared at the floor. The old heaviness came back. It sat on his chest like a heavy stone. When he got home, he did not make his coffee slowly. He did not read his book. He sat on the sofa. He picked up his phone. He started looking at the small screen. He watched other people's lives. He fell into the old path. It was so easy. He stayed up late. He felt worse. The next morning, the loud noise came. He did not want to get up. He did not want to try. He thought, what is the point? I tried to be better. And look what happened. I made a mistake. I am still the same stupid person. He did not drink his coffee slowly. He drank it fast, standing up. He did not look out the train window. He looked at his phone. He went to work. He felt empty. This went on for 3 days. 3 days of feeling like he was back at the beginning. The new path was gone. The old path was back. On the third night, he sat on his sofa. He felt completely lost. He felt like giving up. He looked around the room. His eyes fell on the small table. He saw his notebook, the blue notebook. It was sitting there, waiting. He stared at it for a long time. He remembered all the small things he had written. He remembered the feeling of drawing the plant. He remembered talking to Sam. He remembered Mr. Gable's words about the garden. Slowly, he stood up. He walked to the table. He picked up the notebook. He opened it to a new page. He picked up the pencil. He wrote, I had a bad week. I made a mistake at work. My boss was angry. I felt like giving up. I fell back into my old habits. I feel sad and tired. He stopped writing. He looked at the words. He read them again. Then he wrote more. But I'm writing this now. That means I'm still here. That means I'm still trying. Tomorrow, I will try again. I will drink my coffee slowly. I will look out the window. I will try. That is all I can do. That is enough. Writing the words helped. It took some of the heavy weight off his chest. He closed the notebook. He went to bed. The next morning, he woke up. He did not feel great, but he got up. He made his coffee. He sat down. He drank it slowly. He looked out the window. He was back on the new path. It was okay to fall. The important thing was to get back up. Part 10. The Power of Patience. Months passed. Leo kept walking the new path. Some days were easy. Some days were hard. But he kept going. He learned about patience. He learned that real change is slow. It is like watching grass grow. You cannot see it happening, but one day you look and the grass is taller. He looked back at his old self. The man who could not smile in the mirror. The man who rushed through life. The man who felt nothing. He was not that man anymore. He was different. He was not perfect. He still had problems. He still felt sad sometimes. He still made mistakes. But now he had tools. He had his notebook. He had his books. He had the park. He had Sam and Mr. Gable. He had the small habits. He had learned to be his own best friend. One day in the park, Sam said, "Leo, you look different." "Do I?" Leo asked. "Yeah," Sam said. "Your eyes look brighter. You smile more. It's good." Leo felt happy. Sam could see the change. The change was real. Mr. Gable was nearby. He heard Sam. He smiled and said, "The garden is growing nicely, isn't it?" Leo looked at the garden. The small plants they had put in the ground months ago were now bigger. Some had flowers, bright red and yellow flowers. "It is," Leo said. "It took time, but it was worth it." "Everything worthwhile takes time, Mr. Gable said. "You cannot hurry a flower. You cannot hurry a person. You just keep giving them what they need, and you wait." Leo nodded. He understood now. He understood in a way he could not have understood before. He had given himself time. He had given himself small, good things every day. And he had grown, just like the flowers. Part 11. The English Learner's Heart. One afternoon, Leo was reading his book in the park. Sam came and sat next to him. "What are you reading?" Sam asked. Leo showed him the book. It was a simple story, but Leo loved it. "Is it hard?" Sam asked. "Sometimes," Leo said. "Some words are new, but I read slowly. If I don't know a word, I try to understand it from the other words around it, or I look it up in my small dictionary." Sam nodded. "That's what I do when I read. My teacher says, don't be afraid of words you don't know. Be happy to meet them. They are new friends." Leo laughed. "Your teacher is very wise." "She is," Sam said. "She also says that learning a language is like learning to walk. At first you fall. You fall many times. But if you keep trying, one day you are walking, and then one day you are running." Leo thought about this. He was learning to live again. It was like learning a new language, the language of being alive. At first he fell many times. He fell into old habits. He fell into sadness. But he kept trying. And now he was walking. Maybe one day he would run. He looked at Sam. "Sam, do you know that you have taught me many things?" Sam looked surprised. "Man, I'm just a kid." "Yes," Leo said. "You are a kid. And you taught me to draw again. You taught me to speak. You taught me to be patient. You taught me that mistakes are okay." Sam smiled a little shyly. "I didn't know I was teaching." "That's the best kind of teacher," Leo said. "The one who teaches without even knowing it." Part 12. The Gift of Giving. Leo wanted to give something back. Sam had given him so much. Mr. Gable had given him so much. The park had given him so much. He thought about what he could give. He did not have much money, but he had time. He had his hands. He had his new heart. He went to Mr. Gable. "I want to help more," he said. "Not just on Saturdays. I want to help take care of the park. I want to give something back." Mr. Gable's kind eyes looked soft. "That is a beautiful thing, Leo. The park would be happy to have you." So Leo started going to the park 2 or 3 times a week after work. He helped plant new flowers. He helped pull out the bad weeds. He helped water the plants when it was dry. He loved this work. It was simple. It was honest. He was outside in the sun and the air. He was helping things grow. One day he saw a man sitting alone on a bench. The man looked tired. He looked sad. He looked like the old Leo. Leo remembered that feeling. He remembered how it felt to be alone and lost. He walked over to the man. He sat down on the other end of the bench. He did not say anything at first. He just sat. After a few minutes, he said, "It's a nice day." The man looked at him. His eyes were tired. "Yes," he said. His voice was quiet. Leo pointed to the garden. "I helped plant those flowers over there. They were very small a few months ago. Now look at them." The man looked at the flowers. He did not say anything. Leo said, "I used to sit on benches like this and feel very alone. I didn't think things could get better, but they did." Slowly, very slowly, the man looked at Leo. He looked at his face. Maybe he saw something kind there. Maybe he saw something honest. "Pat?" the man asked. Leo smiled. "Small steps," he said. "Very small steps. I started by just drinking my coffee slowly. It sounds silly, but it was a start." He talked to the man for a little while. He told him about the notebook. He told him about Sam. He told him about Mr. Gable. He did not give advice. He just shared his own story. When he stood up to leave, the man said, "Thank you." Leo nodded. "Take care of yourself, friend." As he walked away, Leo felt a new feeling. It was the feeling of helping. It was the feeling of giving. It was even better than receiving. He had taken the light that Sam and Mr. Gable had given him, and he had shared it with someone else. The light did not become smaller, it became bigger. Part 13. The Circle of Life. Years passed. Leo became a regular part of the park. People knew him. The man who helped in the garden. The man who smiled now. Sam grew up. He became a teenager. He did not come to the park as often. He had new friends. He had new interests. But sometimes he would come. He would sit with Leo on the old bench. "You look old, Leo," Sam would say, laughing. "I am old," Leo would say, laughing too. "But I am happy." They would talk about life. Sam would tell Leo about his dreams. He wanted to be an artist. He wanted to travel. Leo would listen, happy to hear the young man's plans. Mr. Gable got very old. He could not work in the garden anymore. He would sit on the bench and watch Leo work. One day, Mr. Gable said, "Leo, you are the gardener now. You have to take care of this place." Leo felt proud and sad at the same time. "I will," he said. "I promise." Not long after that, Mr. Gable passed away. He died peacefully, in his sleep. Leo was sad. He missed his friend, but he was also grateful. Mr. Gable had taught him so much. He had taught him about patience. He had taught him about growth. He had taught him about the circle of life. Now, it was Leo's turn to be the teacher. He started talking to other people who came to the park. People who looked tired. People who looked lost. He would share his story. He would tell them about small steps. He would tell them it was never too late to start. He became like Mr. Gable. He became the kind old man on the bench with dirt on his hands and kindness in his eyes. Part 14. The Final Lesson. One spring morning, Leo was in the garden. He was very old now. His hands were not as strong. His back hurt sometimes. But he was there, planting new flowers. A young man came and sat on the bench. Leo looked at him. The young man looked familiar. He had kind eyes. He had a smile that Leo remembered. The young man stood up and walked over to Leo. "Leah," the young man said. Leo looked at him closely, and then he knew. "Them," he said. The young man laughed. It was the same laugh from when he was a boy. "It's me, Leo." They hugged. It was a long, warm hug. "I came back to visit," Sam said. "I wanted to see the park. I wanted to see you." They sat on the bench together. Sam told Leo about his life. He had become an artist. He painted pictures of nature. He had a family. He had a little boy of his own. Leo listened, his heart full. "I brought you something," Sam said. He took a small package from his bag. He gave it to Leo. Leo opened it. It was a notebook, a beautiful notebook with a dark blue cover. On the first page, Sam had written, "For Leo, who taught me that it's never too late to start. Thank you for being my friend. Love, Sam." Leo's eyes filled with tears, happy tears. I have something for you too, Leo said. He reached into his old bag. He pulled out his old notebook, the first one, the one with the shaky drawings and the simple sentences. He gave it to Sam. This is where it all started, Leo said. This is where you taught me to draw again. Sam took the notebook. He opened it carefully. He saw the drawing of the plant. He read the words, "Today I tried to draw. It was hard, but I did it." Sam looked at Leo. "You kept this all these years?" "Of course," Leo said. "It reminds me of the most important lesson." "What's that?" Sam asked. Leo looked out at the garden. The flowers were bright and beautiful. The sun was warm on his face. He could hear birds singing. "The most important lesson," Leo said slowly, "is that life is a journey. It is not a race. You do not have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. You have to take small steps. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to be kind to others. You have to stop and look at the flowers. You have to drink your coffee slowly." He turned to Sam. "And you have to remember that it is never too late. Never. As long as you are alive, you can start again. You can make a new path. You can grow, just like a flower." Sam nodded. He understood. He had learned it from Leo all those years ago. They sat together in silence for a while. Two friends, one old, one young. The circle of life was complete. Part 15. A soft goodbye. The sun began to go down. The park became quiet. The light was soft and golden. Sam had to go. He had a train to catch. He stood up. Leo stood up too, slowly. "Will you be okay, Leo?" Sam asked. Leo smiled. "I will be fine. I have my garden. I have my bench. I have my memories." Sam hugged him again. "Thank you for everything, Leo. I will never forget you." "I will never forget you either, Sam," Leo said. "Now go. Your family is waiting." Sam walked away. He turned back once and waved. Leo waved back. Then Leo sat down on the bench. He looked at the garden. It was beautiful. He had helped make it beautiful. He thought about his life. The long years of feeling nothing, and then the many years of feeling everything. The sadness, the joy, the struggle, the peace. He thought about the small boy who asked him, "Who reminds you?" He had learned to remind himself, and in doing so he had learned to live. He took a deep breath. The air smelled like flowers and earth. He felt the cool evening air on his skin. He heard the last birds singing before night. He was not afraid. He was not sad. He was just grateful. Grateful for every small step. Grateful for every mistake. Grateful for every lesson. Grateful for Sam. Grateful for Mr. Gable. Grateful for the park. Grateful for the notebook. He looked up at the sky. The first stars were starting to appear. He smiled. A real, full smile. The kind of smile that comes from deep inside. And he thought to himself in the quiet of the evening, "I am alive, and that is enough." A final word for you, my friend. So, dear listener, this story is ending, but your story is still being written. Maybe you are like the old Leo, the one who felt stuck, the one who felt tired, the one who forgot to look out the window. Maybe you are learning English. Maybe some words in this story were new for you. That is okay. That is good. That means you are learning. You are growing. You are like the small plant reaching for the sun. Remember the lessons from Leo. Start small. Drink your coffee slowly. Look out the window. Write one sentence in a notebook. Read one page of a book. Be patient with yourself. You will fall. Everyone falls. The important thing is to get back up. The important thing is to walk the new path again tomorrow. Do not be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. They are your teachers. Speak, even if your words are not perfect. Share your thoughts. You are not alone. Be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Talk to yourself like you would talk to someone you love. And remember, it is never too late. Never. As long as you are breathing, you can change. You can grow. You can become the person you want to be. Life is not about being perfect. Life is about trying. It is about taking small steps every day. It is about stopping to look at the flowers. It is about being grateful for the small things. You have the power to change your life. It starts with one small step. Today, right now. Thank you for listening to this story. I hope it touched your heart. I hope it gave you a little bit of hope. I hope it helped you believe in yourself. If you liked this story, if it helped you in any way, please click the like button. It helps more people find these stories. And if you want to hear more stories like this, stories that teach, stories that inspire, stories that help you learn and grow, please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a friend who might need it. Share it with someone who feels stuck. Share it with someone who is learning English. Share it with someone who just needs a little hope. Take care of yourself, my friend. Be patient, be kind, keep going. The world is waiting for you, and your story is just beginning.